A friend of mine was hit starved to death just because of beans. That the beans was not soft enough for a man to eat. I've experienced coma, go 3 times. I'm telling you my life history.
You saw those signs. What happened? You were in love. You just ignored the signs. Continue ignoring the signs now.
There is no marriage without fights. Let us not deceive ourselves. This is a man that I know that, oh yes, he hates me, but yet he loves me.
If your husband sexually abused your child and you find out it's true, what are you going to do?
The man will definitely be reported.
Yeah.
But that does not feel me that I will divorce my husband. I want you to get that fact.
Hello, this is Maxwell with End Time Vigilance, and thank you very much for joining me. Now, when it comes to the issue of marriage, there are many issues that come along with it, and people do debate many times to know what could be done to ensure that marriage is restored. As we know from biblical times, it has been told that marriage is till death do us part. But is this a reality in all cases? So today we are going to review a video that is talking about marriage, and the question that was being asked: should marriage be till death do us part, or should divorce be a solution to marital issues? Now, stay tuned as we go into the video and watch it together as people discuss this issue. I am sure that this issue is a tough issue and a hot seat issue. Therefore, stay glued and we watch together. So before we continue, kindly do like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more information as such. So let's go ahead and watch the video together directly.
Please signify if you agree with the prompt. Divorce is the only way out of an abusive marriage.
I can't stand abusive marriage anymore. I've experienced coma, go 3 times. I will advise separate, say like 2, 3 years, 4 years, and see if the both partner will adjust. If it does not work, go for divorce. Let everybody say, calm down. Then let's see who is the devil and who was the angel.
I don't believe that divorce is the only way to save a marriage personally, yeah. But if someone can abuse you in a relationship, someone can lift their hand up to hit you, why are you married to that person? What are you doing there?
Can the disagreeers now speak?
Okay, divorce is not the only way out. Think back. It has not always been beating now. There were real good times. Think back about that good times. Think back on how you started. You would definitely find a loophole somewhere. I hate beating, but no one is a saint. You will not die inside that marriage.
Amen.
Go away. Stay separate.
The only reason I'm on this side is because of the word only. Divorce is not the only way, actually. Even legally, there's something called judicial separation, which means that you are legally allowed to stop cohabiting with this person for the reasons that you would ordinarily divorce that person. Because even when you go to the courts, the first thing they ask you as a legal practitioner is, have you advised the client on reconciliation? If there is any chance that the parties will reconcile, the court would stop that proceeding to tell you, go and reconcile. So divorce is not aimed at actually separating people. The whole concept of divorce happens when the marriage has broken down irretrievably. Simple. At the same time, there should also be attempts to protect the party being abused. There are laws that protect people. The Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act. Lagos State has adopted the domestic violence law as well. That can give you protective orders while you're separate from this person. And in this moment, it is left for that person to now prove that he is no longer a threat. Also, there's been so much focus on physical abuse. Abuse can be psychological, it can be sexual, it can be financial. It's not just the physical abuse. The courts in one of the cases said a dropping water melts away the stone. It might be minor acts, which in themselves, they do not amount to reasons to divorce, but when you accumulate them, it amounts to reasons to divorce. Even the courts recognize that.
So the first question that we had in this case was, is divorce the only solution to an abusive marriage. And, you know, people would speak differently because of certain experiences, and they would look at it from different angles. So in whichever way that you go in this case, you have the right to go in that direction, and I wouldn't judge you for that in a way. However, I do think that divorce is not the only solution to abusive marriages. Like the lawyer guy said, he said there are other measures like separation. You could separate with this person. You could talk to elders. You could ensure that you try your best to ensure that the marriage works in the best way possible before you actually take the step of divorce. So in a Christian setup, divorce is not something that should be done, because before marriage, you have to make sure that you are with the right person. But sometimes we never know what really happens with the people that we are with, because people start to show true colors later on in life sometimes. And because of that, divorce usually is on the table to avoid issues such as death or other things that would cause harm to the party that is being harmed in that case. So yes, it's a very intricate issue and very delicate issue in this case, but divorce is not the only solution. The reason why the rates of divorce are becoming higher and higher these days is because divorce has become something that is tolerated worldwide and easily. In a way where you are angry with someone and you go and get a divorce. So divorce is just like dating now these days. Marriages have become like dating, where you can easily divorce someone. Unlike before, where you had to go through a huge process to actually even be able to get a divorce from someone. So let us continue watching the video and hear the views that are being given here in this case.
My name is Fisayo. I'm 28. I'm a legal practitioner. I'm married and a year and 3 months now. I'm pro-divorce because I don't think divorce is a problem. I think divorce is rather a solution to a problem.
I'm just going to start with this. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychologist, but I can't prefer a solution as to what anyone should do. I'm still quite young. But I'm going to say that at the end of the day, we've convinced ourselves that divorce is the cure-all answer to it. And it's really wild because based on the data, the people who have divorced, right, and gone into second and third marriages have way less chances of it succeeding. It's 67 for second marriages and 73 for third marriages. Even when we're not talking about abuse, people just think it's normal. People just think, I mean, it's degeneracy to society. The analogy I love to use is, imagine society like a body, like a human body, right? And the family is the cells of that society. When you begin to break it off, one by one, it causes, you don't know the effects. So saying divorce is just a cure-all excuse and normalizing it is like saying we shouldn't drink liquid because we have the chance of choking. It doesn't make sense.
What happened to dialogues? What happened to having a conversation? Because before the two of you got married, you courted, you saw those signs. What happened? You were in love, you just ignored the signs. Continue ignoring the signs now. Why did you have to? No, hold on. Except you didn't see the sign, and nobody can say they did not see even the slightest bit of signs that this person could be abusive. I have been there. I have been abused. What did I do? I called my partner. What's going on? What's happening? Why is this thing happening? We had the conversation. You can't just say, oh, divorce is going to solve the issue just like that. It doesn't. Okay, you get divorced, and then what?
A friend of mine was hit, starved to death just because of beans. That the beans was not soft enough for a man to eat. The argument started. Okay, let me go and cook it more. He said, why is it taking so long? Just for the woman to say, it's beans. You allow it to soft, and he said it's too strong. Bah! Started punching the woman. She retaliated to save her life. The next thing the man did, he picked a bottle beside him. A pregnant woman with 3 months child in her womb. Before she rushed to the hospital, she passed away.
So this is quite a very sad situation, and sadly, this usually happens a lot in our society today, where violence is one of the things that results in a happy marriage. Now, I like what the young guy said, the guy that is not married. He said something about breaking down the cells causes an issue with the body. In the same way that when you start breaking down the family, it causes a problem with society. If you look at the rate of divorce in this era that we are living in, it's quite very high like never before. And because of that, we have very, very bad families coming out where we've got single mothers raising children, single fathers raising children, where these children are lacking either the male aspect of life or the female aspect of life, therefore by going on one side only. And now the world is being divided in two parts, those that were raised by fathers and those that were raised by mothers, because they see the world differently. And also, there is a lot of degeneracy due to the fact that families are broken. Now, in order to solve this, we need to ensure that divorce is not encouraged. As much as divorce should be an option in certain cases to in life and death situations, it should not be allowed in situations that are quite small. That there should be enough proof before divorce can be given. It should be put in that way. That is what I think, because the family is very important as well, and society is suffering for the sake of people wanting to get divorces anywhere that they want. So yes, you can also give your views in the comment section as we continue watching the video. So let's go ahead and continue watching the video together.
My name is Alice Bedudo. I'm 54 years old. I'm a divorcee of 11 years now. Hitting every time. Little thing a man will provoke, little time, little thing I will provoke. People say marriage is adorable. It's not enduring. As long as there is no hitting, no abuses, both from the husband or from the wife.
I feel like the topic they've been using is too subtle for you guys. So you have a child? Male
Yes,
or
I
female?
do. Male.
You have children, sorry, male or female?
Male, female.
Ah, beautiful. Okay, so like, we've been talking about physical abuse since. Let's say, for instance, now, your husband sexually abused your daughter. Are you going to
God
stay with him?
forbid.
God forbid, yeah. But it happens. These are things that happen. Will you stay with him after?
First and foremost, let me tell you the truth. I would definitely want to find out that thing. But
No,
true
if
or
your
not,
daughter come and meet you, start asking her, is it true or not? If your husband sexually abused your child or your wife sexually abused your child, and you find out it's true, what are you going to do?
You know the beautiful thing about that question? I'm going to consider priorities. If I leave my spouse, all right, what consequence do you think will be greater? Leaving that marriage is not going to reverse the emotional trauma. If I'm a mother and I didn't have any education whatsoever, I don't have a 9-to-5 job, I don't make any form of money at all, and I know I need that for financial assistance, I'm going to say, look, I'm prioritizing my daughter's or my son's future ahead of this abuse. This abuse, it already happened. It's a bad thing, right?
Well, I
but
mean,
it already
if
happened.
you
But I'm
divorce, like, it's
prioritizing
stable.
that future.
There are countries that if you divorce,
Let me help.
there will be financial compensation.
Let
So
me
if you know you're
help.
going to
But
get
it's
financial
not always sure.
if you know
It's
you're
not always sure.
if you know you are going to get financial compensation from divorce,
The
are you going to do
reason,
it?
You
the
never
reason
know.
you shouldn't
If you
get
know.
divorced
No,
due
you only
situations
know when
like
you're in
that.
the divorce
reason
process.
who is going to help the man? Like, the man needs help,
course,
obviously.
Samuel, the help that he needs.
What do you mean? That's your husband.
You're
That's your
sexually assaulting my
responsibility.
child and you're telling me I should be
that is
responsible for him?
Yes, you.
Bro, what?
As a
The
wife,
man should be in
as a
jail.
wife, you should be responsible for
What
Has it been like that? Did you know that he has
After he
been like
assaults
that?
my daughter, I
Something
start
is
interrogating
definitely
him. Have
wrong.
you been like this? Is this your first time?
So
Seriously.
putting him in jail, how does that?
I'll be at peace knowing that whoever assaulted my daughter.
Are you sure you'll be at peace, or you're just imagining that?
Let me address a lot of issues that have actually been raised here, most of which border on criminal allegations. If a man rapes a minor, that's a very grievous crime, regardless of whether he's the father or not. The right steps that should be taken, because you're saying the emotional abuse has happened, you're right. But that daughter will grow up knowing that the mother condoned it. That's a greater emotional abuse. So the best thing the mother can do at that point is to do everything to protect the child, which includes making sure that the father, if you're not going to at least report the father, you take the child away from that environment. But you can also, like I said, if you divorce this man, you have a legal claim to financial support that it would be binding on him. So you saying if you leave, it would, no, that doesn't happen.
It's not always like that.
It is
It's not always like that.
It depends. And like I said,
No.
once you're able to prove certain things in courts, and when you're talking about if the man is not
we talk a lot about corruption.
Hold on.
Please allow him
If the
to talk.
man is not even, for some reason, convicted of that crime, because obviously the burden of proof is really high in cases like that. you have recourse to so many, like I said, the law is there to protect. A lot of times we just don't test the law in the courts simply because we have this ideology that, it doesn't work. It works, it just takes time.
But
Honestly.
that does not mean that they are divorced.
Yeah.
Yes, he asked me that question and it shocked me. I want to be sincere. He has answered, he has said exactly what I wanted to say. Separating that child from the father is the most important thing at that moment. So, but that does not mean that you are divorcing your husband.
If this type of incident really happen, and you find out it is true, would you still marry that man?
I will still be with my husband, but
God forbid.
Listen, I will still be with my
A man that will
husband.
sleep with me and sleep with my daughter.
See, if I am the child, I'll arrest you and my father.
A man that I got wedded to. If I'm a lawyer, I would sentence him to death. What were you even thinking of? Oh God.
Yes,
Let
I
me
will
live with
still
such
be
a
with my
man.
husband. But let me stand very well and talk. See, do you know that time the man is already separated from me? That does not mean I'm divorced from my husband. But that time, my own mind too is not even at peace with him. Because that is a devilish act. Law can decide to take me to jail or whatever.
That's if you report him.
Yeah, that's if there's a report made.
Yes. No, there will definitely be a report.
Oh, that is going to
No, no, no.
Yeah, there should.
The man will definitely be reported. But that does not feel mean that I will divorce my husband. I want you to get that fact. I will definitely stay away from him for the period where he's going to receive his punishment.
Well, we have two sides that have been brought up in this case so far. First of all, the issue that was there was when it comes to violence, but now it has turned to something that is quite a little bit different. Let's say a man rapes your daughter or a woman sleeps with your son. How would you handle it? Would you still be married to the woman knowing the infidelity that has taken place in that case? Definitely, the answer is no in this case. I guess in such cases, divorce should be allowed because there, I don't think you would ever see that person in the same way again. As much as should be strict laws to divorce, there should also be limitations to when people can be divorced. I know divorce should be till death to us part, but marriage should be till death to us part. But in certain cases, such as these that have been mentioned so far, there is merit to go and break that vow. I know a vow should be something that is strong and should be unbreakable. But in this case, it should be a way to break this vow, because in that case, the person has broken that vow, first of all, by actually not choosing you and choosing to go against you. So I think divorce in this case should be allowed. However, the laws against divorce should be tightened to ensure that it is not made to go rampant. It should not be made to be something that is common that could be done after just a small argument, divorce. Tomorrow, divorce. You marry, divorce. People are marrying and divorcing 10 times these days. And it's quite easy as that. Because you just have to pay a small amount, get married, and divorce. Just like that, you just lose a little bit of money. And people are actually even using marriage as a way to financial income. Most women would marry rich and then divorce and get half. So that is just one aspect of it, of looking at it. So marriage and divorce have become an industry of gain, become a big business for most women in this case. But if you are to make the rules very strict, that will come to an end. A lot of laws, things could be solved by doing that. So let's continue watching the video.
Divorce should be normalized.
Divorce is not the problem. You have to come and prove to the court that these things happen before the court grants you a divorce. So if someone has gone through these circumstances in life and has decided they are no longer willing to go through those circumstances, why should the society force or stigmatize them for making that choice? I feel that is hypocritical because there's something they say, it's the person that wears the shoe that knows where it is.
Yes.
I don't think the society should stigmatize people who are divorced.
Because they have not been in that shoe that you are. When I first separated from my husband, we started with separation. We separated for about seven times before I found out that if care is not taken, one person head will enter 6 feet. So it is better for us to stay alive, to watch our children grow, train our children, nurture them in the will of the Lord. So many people said a lot of things. Church came in, villagers came in, family came in. You can imagine the trauma.
Something that I find really unfortunate is that the stigma doesn't even stay with the man, it's the woman. The man is most likely free to just continue his life like it never happened. It's the woman, and I understand because obviously she has children and those children are attached to her. But at the same time, I think the society should be able to see through what that woman has gone through, and rather than stigmatize her for her decision, have empathy for the situation she has found herself in. Generally, marriage is a contract. At least under the law, it's a contract.
So the second question is that should divorce be normalized? And like I said, I don't think divorce should be normalized because divorce has become a multi-million-dollar industry for many people, especially women who want to go in and make money out of it, which is a loophole that should be closed. And divorce should only happen in certain cases such as infidelity or maybe abuse, physical abuse. Apart from that, only a few other things should be mentioned for that. Otherwise, divorce should not be normalized in many cases. And like it has been said, yes, marriage is a vow, and a vow should be kept for until death do us part, should never be broken easily. And that is what should be done in marriages. So let us continue watching and finish the video here.
Under religion, it's an oath or a vow. Like every other contract you can decide to pull out, then you should be allowed to. I don't see how that is a problem to any other person.
I believe that if a couple goes into marriage knowing that like divorce is an option, nobody will want to spoil the marriage knowing that divorce can happen. That's basically it for me.
It's not a big deal. If you try to make it work, it does not work. Oh girl or boy, put the paper down, sign them, rest your head. Marriage is not by force.
Candidates agreeers now speak.
Where did we get lost in society to think it should be normalized? You made vows on that wedding day. You made vows. Now, if anybody can divorce willy-nilly, what is the point? Children are the beginning of empires. Now, if you're going to be shaping them and giving them the example that vows are just protocol, till death do us part is just protocol, I wonder what kind of parent you are. Okay, let me ask you a question. If you got cheated on, right, and your wife divorces you, right, are you going to be comfortable with the fact that she just did it because she knows she can divorce you anytime?
Why did I cheat in the first place?
She cheated on you. Yes. Are you going to be comfortable with the fact that she just did it because she knew that she could divorce you anytime?
She can't do that.
Are you gonna really have
she
that?
She can't do that, actually. Yeah, legally. You can't cheat and then bring a case to court to say, I want to divorce because I cheated.
Can I ask you a question?
Uh-huh.
You got married to a woman that is stronger than you.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
Every little thing, she threatens you that she's going to bully you, she's going to bully. Every time she bully you, your father comes in, the church comes in, the uncles come in, she still remains. You still go ahead to marry that woman.
There's something in dating, right, and age that relates to each other. When you're dating at the right age, you build emotional intelligence. So when you know that a case is going to come like that, when you know there's a probability of that, right, you create contingency plans, right? Now that contingency plans might not be divorcing, but there are other methods.
It shouldn't be a normal thing. At least the end of the end, it shouldn't be a normal thing.
Take a look at our society currently, for example, how people are just diving into divorce with any little discomfort. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. People no longer want to manage, not even manage, like build. Now that people are saying we should not stigmatize they should stigmatize them. Because if you don't stigmatize them, that is why they will feel very free.
Exactly
Your
my
husband
point.
just raised his voice at you a little bit, or the wife did not cook soup for you the way you like it. You just get a divorce. They should stigmatize them. People will say, oh, it's only the women who get stigmatized. No, people no longer want to go into relationships with single fathers anymore. They are being stigmatized. So it is good. They should continue stigmatizing them. Maybe that one will help them to think, okay, at least if I cannot fight for my marriage, what about the people that will be insulting me that I couldn't stay in marriage, or the people that will be saying, oh, I carry children for her, they know if he dates me.
You believe people are like just jumping into divorce, right?
They are. Look at the society.
Do you also believe that people are also just jumping into marriages? Supposed to be married are married. Yeah, so those people that are
making our
married,
point for
should
us.
they be allowed to divorce or not?
This is the reason why some churches will make you go through series of what they call
Counseling.
Counseling.
We are talking about like the whole world. You can't just talk about like just churches.
No, I'm telling you that if all churches, or if they can say, if you want to get married, go through the process of counseling, they can normalize that. Since you want to say they should throw marriage away.
Okay, see,
instead of throwing marriage away.
that actually makes more sense, because like if you want to divorce, you need to go to.
But we are not talking about that right now. We are talking
It's
about
still
divorce.
the same thing.
We're not talking about that right now.
Divorce
We're
have like
talking
you have like a long list of things you need to go through before you can divorce. When you
Okay,
are being
let me
abused,
just-
or you're falling out of love.
Some people just divorce because of
for the slightest reason.
I'm trying to say is that, like, the divorce.
your soul be hammering on divorce with so much pleasure. I don't know. Maybe it's coming from a divorced home. Maybe he has lived with those who are from a divorced home, and he has seen one-hand experience of what it is there. All this beating and all that stuff.
I'm from a very stable family, and I've not really seen or experienced divorce firsthand. But I've seen people that should have gotten divorced, so that is one of the main reasons why I'm here. I believe divorce should be normalized, not something that people have to go through lots of process just to get to.
So after what has been said, what do you think should be the solution to these two questions? First of all, is divorce the only solution to an abusive marriage? And should divorce be normalized? These are the two questions that we have. So leave us a comment in the comment section to let us know what you think. Let me know what you think is the best solution in this case. Should divorce be something that is normalized? Just anyone can do it at any moment, and let society continue to degenerate and make marriage an industry for gain? Or should we put restrictions to divorce, or at all costs in this case? So let me know in the comment section, but kindly do like, share, and subscribe, as we'll be talking about more and more issues such as this, because these issues are interesting and they're affecting society at the moment. So thank you very much for joining me. This is Maxwell, and I wish you a wonderful day, afternoon, and evening. Bye-bye.